All right, as you begin part 4 of this assignment, you've been provided with some demo files that you are going to start with. So they are available with your assignment. One of them is this PSD file that has a bunch of shapes. We are going to learn a little bit more about using masking in Photoshop. And so we'll break all of that down. There are also some texture files. And so I've got two of them open. There's a folder of probably about 10 or 12 textures that you guys can access. You can find a lot of these on a lot of the free stock photography websites, but they will help us in being able to learn masking. So I'm going to start with just copying over these textures because although the shapes are in this file, we're going to actually start and just break down the concept of masking for you. So I'm going to take the move tool and just take these textures over. I'm purposely demoing this right in front of you so that you can have practice doing this. So that move tool, I have not let go of my mouse. And you can see my arrow is still on top of the document. If you let go of it before your cursor is over that document, it may not copy over. Okay, so it is a little tricky if you're brand new to Photoshop. Once you let go, so I just let go of my mouse, you can see that texture is now inside of there. And I've got a bounding box that is rather large. And so I can zoom out and look at it. I can also transform it. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to rotate it. And you can always scale it down if you wanted to. Okay, so when you're working in Photoshop, you've got to be able to get lots of different cool images and graphics from different programs. I'll demonstrate that one more time just so we have two different things inside of our file so you can actually see things happen. So this move tool again is activated. I click, I kind of drag over and hover, and then I just basically hover over the document and let go. Okay. And again, because this is a higher resolution image, I am able to see that like this photo is much larger than it needs to be. And you can choose whether or not you want to change the position or rotate it. And sometimes you base that off of creative decisions that you're trying to do. Another shortcut that I just hit was Command 0, and that will allow me to see whatever is in my document at full size. And so when I'm zooming in and zooming out, it allows me to just hit Command 0 and it kind of fills my screen with my document. So you can see I've got layer 1, layer 2. I'm just gonna say, this is blue texture. So at this level, you should be able to rename any layers. Um, and that is an important thing with all of our assignments, more so for organization purposes. So we want to talk about masking. And if you've never used Photoshop before, this might go right completely over your head the very first time we explain it. A layer mask allows us to hide and show parts of our layer. So you can see the eyeballs right now on the layers. Let us hide and show the entire layer. Sometimes you only want to be able to hide or show parts of a layer, okay? And there's multiple ways that we can do this, so that's why it is more of an intermediate skill that sometimes is a little bit tricky for beginners to totally grasp. So I'm going to actually demonstrate this from or by using a paint brush. So in our assignment for step 1, it asks you to make a brush or use a brush that is a specific size. So brush 1 has to be certain settings. So one of those settings is it needs to be 200 pixels. So you can see right here, I can change that. Um, and you can even type it in if you wanted to, just to get right to the size that you're needing. We usually, in this case, for this demo, we're just going to use a circle brush. The other thing that we want to do is we want to change the opacity. So the opacity is going to be, for this first brush, just 50%. So that means it's going to show and hide parts of it, but not all of it, right? And then the other thing is that we want to change what's called the hardness of the brush. And for some reason, I think it's because of the type of brush I have. Let me just, for some reason, this brush is not letting me choose a softer brush. Let's see. There we go. So, a lot of the times when you're working in Photoshop, either another person has used your program, or in some cases, you may be in a different window or a different menu. I have a lot of brushes loaded because I do teach Photoshop quite often. But you know, you've got to know how to kind of get around inside of your own Photoshop. So my hardness initially was not displaying. It was like a perfectly hard-edged brush. So you can soften the edges of the brushes. So we'll kind of demonstrate this in just a second here. So um, now, a paintbrush typically, if I was to just start painting, we've got these different colors here. We aren't technically painting, but just so you can see, like if I was painting, it is going to paint directly on whatever layer that you're on. We're going to use this brush now to actually do something to help us mask. So to understand how this works, down at the bottom of your layers panel, you will hover over the rectangle with the circle, and then it shows you like a little hint that says layer masks. And you're welcome to watch these videos. So Photoshop's really great about having quick videos to help you understand concepts. But we'll click on that, and you'll notice what happens in our layer panel. We now have a white box here. That is our mask. Okay, and that link connects the mask to the layer so that if we move it around, they kind of always stay together. So the way it works is if I paint with black, so if you look over at the paint now, it kind of defaulted to black and white. Masks work in grayscale. So if you are using black and I have 50%, that means I'm going to see some of that layer beneath. Remember, I had that layer, this layer here? So we're going to see some of that layer beneath, and you may not really be able to tell it just yet, but we're going to play around with a couple settings. So the first setting was for brush one was 50% opacity, 200 pixels, and then 100% hardness, right? The next one is going to be 25% opacity, right? And again, if you're having trouble sliding this back and forth, you can just kind of hold and click, or you can actually type in the number. So we're going to keep the size of the brush and the hardness of the brush exactly the same. And so you can see like we can't see through it quite as much. So the next one we are going to do, actually, hold on, that actually needs to have a hardness of 100. So you can see the edge of the brush. This first one probably should have also been 100% with the hardness. We'll do 50%. And I'll just do that first one up here. So you can see how you can start to see through better. And then for brush three, we are going to do 50% opacity, which is what I have right now. We are going to do 200, and then we are going to do that 50% hardness, which is technically what I had right here. Okay. And then for brush four, we are going to do 100% opacity. And this is where we're going to be able to see all the way through, because 100% opacity, um, you know, that basically means that brush is going to work in its full amount. So whatever color it is, you know, it's going to paint in that full amount. So we're using, again, just that black color um, that is getting painted right here. And you might be able to see right here that we have some of those values showing up. So again, we've got, I'm just double checking my settings, 200 pixel brush size. And then on this one, we're going to choose 0% hardness, and that means that this brush is going to be a lot softer. So you can see like it helps us to be able to see through, but it's a very, very soft edge. And you're going to be able to change these things as you work on projects. Um, it helps you basically see through things. So if you could think about this as a sheet of paper, it's kind of like saying I'm totally cutting through something or partly cutting through something to see whatever is beneath it. So that is step one, and we will allow you to work through this. You will want to make sure you name your layers, and just follow those instructions for your file organization, and then we'll do step two in another video.